Mark Speight, presenter of children's TV show Smart, was found dead 12 years ago aged 42. He was found at Paddington train station and appeared to have hanged himself. His death came shortly after he was arrested on suspicion of murdering his fiancée, Natasha Collins. She was found dead in the bath with burns and significant amount of cocaine in her system along with sleeping pills and vodka. Speight was released without charge, and an inquest determined Collins died of drug overdose and severe burns. Heartbroken and consumed by grief, Speight moved in with Collins' mother, and had planned to meet her in Covent Garden for coffee on April 7, 2008. He was dropped off at Wood Green Station, but never arrived for their catch-up. He had missed an appointment with his counselor, but that was over confusion with dates. Two police officers who spoke to Speight described him as vacant, distracted and deep in thought, but he refused their help. He was captured on CCTV taking cash out at Queen's Park Station, and then he boarded southbound train on the Bakerloo line. The next day, Speight was reported missing, and his family, along with Collins' mother, made public appeal for him to make contact. Sadly, his body was found on April 13, hanging from the roof of Macmillan House, adjacent to Paddington Station. He had been dead in the building for 6 days before he was found, and had written 2 notes, one in his pocket and one to his parents at his home, where he explained he could not contemplate life without Collins. An inquest found he had hanged himself, but bizarre and wild conspiracies have since emerged regarding his employers, the BBC. Speight had volunteered for Childline, which has been dubbed by conspiracists without any evidence cover for pedophile ring involving senior members of the BBC including Jimmy Savile, and members of the royal family. Theory peddlers have claimed Childline is used to track down victims of the pedophile ring, and that Speight knew too much again, without any evidence to back up their wild claims. Convicted pedophile Rolf Harris made an emotional speech at Speight's funeral, and even performed, which other theorists have seized upon. Harris said at the service, "It was joyful to work with Mark. I realize now that never told him how much appreciated his programs. You realize you should always tell people what you think. You should tell them you love them because it might suddenly be too late." And another claim the theorists make is that the coroner for Speight's death was untrustworthy. Paul Knapman was in the charge of the inquest, but he had been heavily criticized in the past when he oversaw the inquest into the Martinus riverboat disaster in 1989. Chris Pond MP told the House of Commons, "For some unexplained reason, Knapman horrifically allowed the victims' hands to be cut off and their body parts and tissues to be removed without permission and treated concerned family members with utter contempt." Speight is also not the only person connected to the BBC to die in strange circumstances, as Crimewatch presenter Jill Dando was shot on her doorstep in 1999, and the killer has never been found. She had reportedly been investigating an alleged pedophile ring at the BBC and, according to reports, had been told DJs, celebrities and other members of staff were involved in organized abuse. She is said to have made complaint to senior management and asked them to investigate it, but they never did. Because of this, wild conspiracy theories claim Dando was assassinated by hitman. Mirror Online has reached out to the BBC and Paul Knapman for comment. In 2017, spokesperson said of sex abuse claims, "We can't comment on individuals but treat any allegations seriously and have processes in place for investigating them."